All right, boys and girls, welcome back to the drive-thru for a slow Monday version of the drive-thru sponsored by the deli. Hungry? Stop by the deli and get yourself, I don't know, maybe a breakfast croissant. That's what I feel like right now. And a special delicious Oreo cookie from Destiny. Thanks, Destiny. Okay, so it says, solve each system of inequalities. So let me type out these directions here. Okay, so solve means to find the solutions to. Obviously, you guys know that. A system just indicates that there are more than one thing going on here. There will eventually be three, just so you know, in this assignment. We start with two. And inequalities are equations that involve less than or equal signs, okay? So here's what we want to do on these. Step one, write each equation. Oh my gosh. Write each equation as y is less than, equal to, whatever, mx plus b, okay? And then I guess I'll write an asterisk. Make sure to flip the inequality when dividing or multiplying by a negative. Having now graded a couple weeks worth of your guys' material, I know that at least half of us in here has made that mistake already. Okay? Step two. Use a straight edge to plot the line. Asterisk. Remember, less than or greater than, the line is dashed or dotted. Less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, the line is filled in, okay? And then step three, shade each line lightly, then shade the overlapping section I'm so dyslexic today. I keep writing my words out of order. I don't know if you guys are noticing that, but that's just how my brain's working. Then shade the overlapping section heavily. Okay, so that's what we're going to do on all of these. We'll have a word problem to do. We'll start with number one, as you can see. I already typed it in there, but I'm going to give myself more room. Number one says y plus x is less than or equal to 8, and y minus 1 is greater than 2x. Okay. Again, I'm lucky because I have multiple colored pens, and that really gives me an advantage here. If you want to use highlighters, that'll definitely help you, or multiple colored pens, okay? So, I'm just going to go over here to the side and change this into y equals mx plus b form. So what do I have to do? Subtract x. That's a 1x, right? So I'm going to subtract 1x from both sides of that line. That gives me y is less than or equal to a negative 1x plus 8. You might be asking, why didn't you write it as 8 minus 1x? I could have. It just wouldn't have, that's not the form I wanted in, but I could have, okay? Now, I'll take the other equation, which was y minus 1 is greater than 2x, add 1 to it, you get y is greater than 2x plus 1. Okay? So far, so good? Now, how many answers are there to this system of equations? There's infinitely many. That's why we have to use crayons to answer these, because we can't possibly name every point that works, so we have to shade them. Okay, that's the only reason we're doing this. I swear, the biggest hurdle we have in here is just getting you guys to understand what you're doing. There's plenty of smart people in this room, okay? And you guys are doing well. So, I'll start with the blue one. Is it going to be dashed, or is it going to be colored in, the line? It's going to be colored in. Once we have them in this form, just go up to the point 0, 8. What is that point again? What's that called? The y-intercept. Did I go too high? Nope. All right, and then what's my slope? Negative 1. So go over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1. That's plenty of points. Get my straight edge out. Again, it is colored in. Okay, and then this says y is less than, okay? So this is our y-axis right there. So we want everything below that line. So just lightly shade. Okay? And now we're halfway done. Okay. In the red line, what's the y-intercept? It's 1. What's the slope? It's 2. Over 1, up 2. Over 1, up 2. Over 1, up 2. This line is going to be dashed. And we want everything above that line. Okay? And now the solutions would be everything that is both red and blue. Man, that's really challenging to see that red line. And that you can just do in pencil. It definitely doesn't work well to use pen on these. Okay? Does that make sense to you? Okay, let's pick out another one. Let's do number 5, because I can tell number 5 is going to involve a negative sign. And I'd like to practice those together. Okay? So number 5, we have negative x minus y is less than or equal to 2. And then we have y minus 2x is greater than 1. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is just do a little bit of work and get them in the form I want. Okay, so I'll add x to both sides. You get negative y is less than or equal to positive 1x. I added 1x to both sides, essentially. I don't want to confuse anybody. And then plus 2. That was a little weird, so I'm going to give you a second to take a look at that and make sure you understand what I did. Now what do? We don't want negative y equals, we want y equals. So what are we going to do? Divide by a negative 1. And when we divide everything by a negative 1, what do we have to do to our inequality? We have to flip it. Okay, so we've got our red equation. Our blue equation's almost in the right form. All right, red equation. What's the y-intercept? -2. What's the slope? -1. So I got to go down to the right. I go down 1 each time. This is going to be a filled-in line. We want to go everything above that line. Okay. Switch over to blue. That has a y-intercept of +1 and a slope of +2. This line is dashed. It's greater than that, so we want above that line. So everything this is above the line. So the solution, oh, where's my highlighter, is everything right there. How you feel about this? Fine? We'll do one more. We'll do a word problem together, and then that'll be the end of the notes, okay? Number 7 would be next. It says you want to bake at least 6 loaves of bread for a bake sale. You want at least twice as many loaves of banana bread as nut bread. Write and graph a system of inequalities to model the situation. All right. You want to bake at least 6 loaves of bread for the bake sale. You want at least twice as many loaves of banana bread as nut bread. Okay, so let's go banana equals X, nut equals Y. We have to start out with that because we're graphing these on the XY plane. So we got to figure out what's X and what's Y. Just so you know, you could have switched those and you wouldn't be wrong because they didn't tell us. Okay? All right, so we know that we have to have how many loaves of bread at least? So X plus Y is bigger than or equal to 6. That's how you interpret that word at least, right? And then our other equation would be we want twice as many loaves of banana bread as nut bread. So we want at least twice as many. So I think that other one will be 2 times X is bigger than or equal to Y. So we have 2 times the banana breads as we do at least twice the banana breads as nut bread. Yep. Got it? Okay. Okay. So, back to our little strategies. I have to subtract a 1x from this, and that gives me y is bigger than negative 1x plus 6. Now I'm kind of doing these real speed. Y is greater than or equal to negative 1x plus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is my y-intercept. My slope is -1. It's filled in. Okay? Okay, now, I guess I'm more familiar at writing this as y is less than 2x. All I did was just flip the sign. Just flipped everything around. Okay? So this is y is less than 2x plus 0. So my y-intercept is 0. That's kind of a weird one because it wasn't there. But you can always add 0 to whatever you want in life. Slope is 2. Again, this is a filled-in line. Okay, now we wanted to be above the blue one, and below the red one. And so that means now, in essence, like if this was a real problem, I don't think we can make negative loaves of bread. Keep in mind, X was banana bread and Y was nut bread. So I don't think it would make sense to highlight this part of the graph. No. So that's our area, everything over to this side. Okay? It actually would cut out right here. But so our area would, in essence, be everything in there. But we'll get more practice on those.